man can fall in love with a man, a woman can fall in love with a woman. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It's not in the province of the law. There's nothing you do with the church. And if you lie about that, you lie about everything.
As your president, I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology. Believe me.
You have to know that the brute, the bigot, and the batterer are all children of God, whether they know it or not. And I'm supposed to treat them accordingly.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of Candid Culture. I am your host, Antonio. Of course, you know who I am. And with me on my sides are Nigel. And look at you. You've been looking so angelic. I think you're ready for this conversation.
I'm at church today.
Are you at church? Mm-hmm. Were you there last Sunday? All right. So then we have to do a whole.
We ain't finna talk about how you don't know your life right from your left.
Okay.
Next to me, on this other side, is Rakeem. How are you? Oh,
That's how I feel today.
Oh my Lord! You ever seen the movie Little Nicky? He just showed it. So listen, because the conversation that we're going to be having today is simple. Can we be saved or not? And the we, of course, is the Black gay community. Do we have permission to even call ourselves saved? And I think it's a conversation that we all have that has been going on for a very long time. And so we're going to have that conversation today. Y'all ready for it?
Yes.
Y'all sure?
Yes.
I know the church is going to come for you in the
We'll
comments.
see.
All right.
Hey, church queen.
Well, y'all stay tuned for a funny episode, in my opinion. Stay tuned. Today we're discussing, can we be saved or not? And it's going to be a funny conversation already. And so what I really want to talk about with you all is currently, y'all know my conversation, what's the current relationship between the gay Black community and the church? I don't even want to specify the Black church. I want to speak about the church in general. What does that relationship currently look like from your vantage point?
See, in my mind, you don't have to have a relationship with church. You know, God is just a personal relationship that you have to have with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, I go to the church rarely. Mm-hmm. You know, every now and then. Let me sip on this. I go to the church every now and then, you know, to give me a little cleansing and hear a little good word. But I don't think you necessarily have to have a relationship with the church at all. Just as long as you have a relationship with God, you should be fine. Because I'm gonna meet me a nice Christian, God-fearing man.
So currently, right now, the gay community, is our relationship with the church? You told us about you, child, but
our relationship, we don't have one.
Speak for yourself.
I think the relationship, I think it's almost like hiring a contractor to do work on your yard. The relationship from the gay community for the church is the choir director. You are the contractor for the church, and we hire you to direct the choir. There's really not much else we need from you, and that's what I see the relationship from the gay community and the church is. I think there's a relationship.
You think gay people hire them or
No.
church hire gay people?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All choir directors gay for real?
Just about 99.9.
I ain't been to church in a long time. Lord.
Round up to 100%.
Still be all by style. But so listen, I think y'all know this. I don't think YouTube knows. I don't think our fans knows this. But I am a pastor's kid. What? What you say? Get out of here. What you say? I am a pastor's kid. My grandparents were pastors as well. So I have a different perception. One that's going to probably, I feel like, shock a lot of people. But I have a great love for the church. I feel like it was, again, a safe haven for me. It was a place where I felt my identity was formed. I didn't have to make one. It was one where mine was literally formed in a good way. And my feeling about what the gay community's relationship is, believe it or not, there's several people who are just like me in the church. and we have now found kind of our place. Is it met with some disdain? Absolutely. From what I like to call them diehard Christians that's been on the battlefield for a long time, and I ain't tired yet. It's kind of a weird thing for them. However, I do feel that the church has become, or is attempting to become, let me say, a place literally what the Bible is supposed to be, a place of love. Because at the end of the day, you can't control who somebody loves. And I believe that the issue that the church is starting to identify is the fact of everyone is not without sin. And the Bible doesn't tell people that you're going to be without sin. It told them the Bible basically says to flee from it. It's going to happen. Temptation's going to happen, period. But now I feel like people are now becoming more accepting of it. Do I feel like the church has been really good at fostering this relationship? No. Do I feel like the gays have? No. The reason I say that is because really quickly,
the church make it hard.
Why? How?
Because every time I go to a church, they be like, oh yeah, because it just every time I go to a church, so now you like, okay, he's speaking some good words, you know what I'm saying? Then next thing you know, you like, yeah, but this guy.
Right, and I feel like anytime I pop up in the church, that's what they preach about. So I'm like, is this every Sunday? Is this the conversation every Sunday? Are we preaching about not being gay?
One time, my people took, like my family members took me to the church or whatever. I feel like they was trying to like, I thought, I just thought it was a nice little church day. So, I went or whatever because, I believe in God and all that good stuff. I grew up in church. I didn't, I grew up, I know the word. But so like, they took me to this church and then it's like the pastor kind of singled me out and I kind of think they set that up. You know what I'm saying? Like they set that up. And then he just was trying to like de-gay-nasty me or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't appreciate that. So after that happened, I never been to church after that.
You know, the sad part about that is that happens to a lot of people. And I have been in several services as a pastor's kid or as a grandchild of a pastor as well, where I have heard similar sermons to that. Kind of similar to previous episodes when you were talking about how your family was talking about homosexuality and why it's so weird. I was, again, in the same house or related to, kin to, people who preach that. And so when I did I can't say come out, but when I did fully accept who I was, it was definitely a conversation. I would never forget, it was a conversation with my grandfather before he passed away. And the greatest thing that he could ever say, because if y'all know who my grandfather is, he was real sad. Okay, but the conversation he had with me is, you have to work out your own salvation. My job is just to love you. Right. And when people understand that, that's your only requirement, is to love me unconditionally. That's what Jesus, whoever people represent now, or whoever people go to outside of Christianity, that's what it's all about, loving somebody. That's it. Right. And being there for them, community. That's what the church was founded upon. I think that what's happening now sounds like with some of you all is that people are starting to put personal bias into their, what I like to call speeches, because I can't even call them sermons. Right. What I call speeches, because a sermon it's supposed to be not only to empower, but also to instruct. So if you just up here talking the whole time about, I'm going to hell, honey, well, save me from it then. I mean, good God.
What can we do to fix it?
And then it's hard, you listen to that succulent music. Like, your daughter do too.
Come on, Tom.
But I think there's a lot that needs to be fixed. Now, my question is, why do you all feel, and I'm going to kind of pedal out of this one, why do you all feel that specifically our community, the Black gay community, why are we in such dire need of the church's acceptance? Why is that? Why do we feel like we have to be accepted by them? Why is this even a topic on this show?
I honestly don't feel like people feel like they have to be accepted by the church anymore. I feel like people feel like that in the past. But like to this day and age, I don't feel like it's like, at first I used to want acceptance from the church. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause my family was into church. So I wanted acceptance from it. But I don't think, like now, I don't need acceptance from the church. I know I have my own personal relationship with the Lord, and I don't need nobody to tell me what I'm doing wrong in my life.
And I piggyback off that. I think that I wanted people in the church to see things from, just as you said, as maybe the church is transitioning today, is you don't have to agree with what I do. I don't need you to tell me what I'm doing is wrong. Just live your life right. You know, just live your life, and that's all you should be concerned about. You can still talk to me as a normal human being, but I never really needed acceptance or wanted acceptance as I don't, you know, now. I just wanted them to look at things differently and be more open. So.
And I think that's all. Like, you just want people to see people. You just want everybody to see for your point of view. That's it.
Kimberly don't see it from your point of view. She's sitting at home right now like, oh, I got another good sermon for the
I would love for her to come
Yeah,
on the
remember
show and
Kimberly?
talk. Yeah.
But she's still sitting down. But y'all remember what Kimberly said? You remember that?
Who?
She said a few things.
She said a few things, y'all.
What she say?
I'm gonna leave her alone, but she said a few. YouTube it. But y'all don't YouTube it until after this show.
What's her name?
Kimberly.
Okay.
She sings down. She's amazing.
I don't know
But
her.
she just said she was just a little out of her body. She came a little out of her body a little bit. But I
That's a
think
lot of body to come out of.
child. But he said it's a lot of body to come out of. This is so disrespectful. But
She was being
Hey,
disrespectful.
Kimberly.
but I believe that we are trying to focus on. I don't believe that. I'm like you. I don't believe that we are trying to get acceptance.
Yeah, no.
I think that our community has gotten this backbone or this strength now, whereby we are confident in who we are to a certain extent, to where we feel like we have what we need, and really we're coming here out because of our relationship with God. I think we've kind of moved past the feeling of I need this institution to provide fullness. I don't even think I'm that way. I, as a pastor's kid, I really only go to church that often anymore, only because I feel like I do a lot of good. I feel like this show is good. Come on, somebody.
You know, I went to church recently.
What?
I missed my turn and I had to turn around in the parking lots, but that's all.
You heard that, Pastor John? I like sucking dick. What you gonna do?
Okay, so listen to me. So y'all so disrespectful. I need for all of my church people, my church good Judies and queens, please cover them in the comments. Good God, y'all so disrespectful towards the church. I'm trying to be a good publicist up here for the church. Now, I know we spoke about Kimberly, but there's been several times where there's been scenes where preachers have been seen throwing people out of the church because they're gay. There was a few YouTube videos that sprung up from preachers who openly push people out. And they, what I've started to hear as a church vet, I guess you can say, is a lot of a term used a lot about faggot, sissy. It's never just homosexual, punk, but it's always the degrading terms that it's typically the black church that use it all the time. So my question to you all is, we get offended by that word, right? We sometimes.
I don't.
See, hell yeah, it depends on the way you say it.
The context you say it in. But here's my issue with this. So we get very offended by that word, but we ourselves use the same word.
Because it's different, you know what I'm saying?
How?
Because I can sit there and say, oh, like, I'm like, oh, what's up, bitch? But then you got your homeboy over here, he like, yeah, what's up, bitch? You ain't got like, excuse me, what you just called me? Like, you get offended. You know what I'm saying? Like, when a girl, like, if you have a conversation with a girl, your friends, you might like, what's up, bitch? When a girl be like, oh, yes, bitch, but this. Excuse me, girl, like, don't call me a bitch.
Right.
Like, you sometimes feel like that, right?
So are you saying that it's okay because we have some type of commonality with our friends?
Yes.
And then so when the church
So we call
uses
each other
it,
fag because we're saying it. You can't call. I don't know you. You call me a fag and you're using fag as a term to disrespect me. You're not using it just to say it. You're trying to initially disrespect me.
but my question is, so does the definition change?
The definition doesn't change.
I think
honestly,
it changes.
my
but-
friend doesn't call none of my friends. We don't call each other.
Don't
fags.
you dare call me a faggot.
We
Don't you
we
dare.
might call each other bitches and when we feel like it.
Hold on.
But we
Let me say
don't
this.
call each
Don't
other
you
fags.
dare call me a faggot ever in your life. You understand me? All right, we better whisper it.
We don't call each other fags, punks, or none of that. So when someone else calls me that name, I was raised on that name to be disrespectful because when you said it to me, it was disrespectful. You know, I whooped a lot of ass in high school off that name. You know, but you can't use that. So like if you gonna respect me just like you respect anybody else, you're not gonna call look that straight guy over there, you ain't gonna call him a fag because you know.
So do you think that you're answering to that when you lead with emotion? Someone call you a faggot or
See, you call me a fag. Yes, I'm gonna answer to it. You know, unfortunately, I am. I'm not that comfortable to not answer to it. I don't like disrespect.
Right.
So you're gonna respect me. You're gonna respect me just like you respect your brother. You gonna call your brother fag? No, because he gonna knock your motherfucking teeth out your mouth. So you gonna call me a fag? I'm gonna knock your teeth out your mouth. So like, this is how we're gonna play the game. Respect me how you respect your brother.
So, in regards to how we respond and what our response is, I feel like you were trying to go somewhere with it in regards to that statement.
No, I mean, I think it goes back to just like the church or I don't need the church acceptance, and I don't, that word used when you try to be bashful, it doesn't bother me because I don't care. You don't care enough. I mean, you don't matter enough in my life for me to care about what you call me. That's just me.
I love that. No, I'm not
That's a higher thought. I believe for me it's all in context.
Yeah.
So if we're having a conversation and you just randomly just decide to like throw out that word, I'm gonna be a little confused. I'm confused. What happened to where you feel comfortable? But then I think for me it's also self-reflection because I want to use a little bit in a different way of what you just said in regards to I think I've now in growing up I've started to see, okay, what about me is causing you to just feel like, oh, that word is okay for you to say to me.
See, I don't really hear that word that much no more, though.
Oh, I do.
You do a lot?
Absolutely.
I don't really hear it.
I do. It's said a lot with us on TV or in some sort of different type of way. We've made it okay for the word faggot or sissy or punk is one I hear all the time. And I don't understand that. Huh?
It's especially in the black community.
It is. Yeah. And so it's like for me, I guess it's kind of, I'm always on the fence of, okay, why is it acceptable for you to say it or your friend or homeboy to say it and you change the rules when it comes down to the church or somebody else or somebody in authority? That confuses me. But hold on real quick. We have to take a break. So listen, hold on tight. Candid Culture will be right back. Welcome back. We are still speaking very candidly about our culture, and right now we are having a conversation about the church. We learned that my friend over here, still Pastor Jones, whoever you are, he still sucks dick. I just want to go ahead and let you know that he still does that, my love. I don't know who you are, but my love, please comment so we can, rectify that. Because whoever Pastor Jones is offended you.
He in St. Louis.
He in St. Louis? Pastor Jones, don't do that no more. Oh my God. We're going to have to talk about that a little bit later. But we're still having a conversation. So now we left off in regards to the word faggot, punk, sissy, and how it's something that we would prefer not to be called while all people are having their speeches over the pulpit. But the question I posed was, why is it then socially acceptable for us to use it in just our regular speech, and why is it acceptable? I get what you were saying in regards to, sometimes it's just that's the level of friendship that we have. I just feel like disrespect should not be a level of friendship. I think so. That kind of takes me back to what we were talking about previous episodes ago. Communication is something that we lack in our community, and we feel like it's just socially acceptable to accept degrading words, but you will not call me a faggot, you will not call me a sissy, and you will not call me a punk. Because I'm neither one of those things. What you can say is that I am smart, kind, and I'm important. That's what you can say. But so I really want to continue to have that conversation. I know you say that this is not a word that you hear often. So you're saying that word has now been eradicated and no one has that conversation anymore.
See, I don't really hear the word that much. So I just got into it with a family member recently. Me and her had a real big disagreement. So me and her got into it, and she chose the word to call me a fag. You know what I'm saying? My mindset, I don't really hear the word that much. So I just feel like in my mindset, if you my family member, you call me a fag. The way we was raised, I know what you mean when you saying it to me. Will you disrespect your brother, your daddy, or your uncle, or anybody else that way? No, you're going to respect me as the man I am, just like you respect them as the man that they are. So when you use that word to disrespect me, I get offended. But I don't really hear it that much. I don't really hear the word fag as often as I used to. In high school and stuff like that, you hear it a lot. But as an adult, no, don't really hear it that much. You might hear little dudes, little chuckling and say that little stuff. But,
I got a very odd question. What's a faggot?
It isn't it like a poll that they use to?
In the urban community, just like let's the urban dictionary.
Oh,
We
you
ain't
want the
gonna- we not
urban?
gonna
I was
use-
going with the whole like.
Merriam-Webster.
Nah, we not using that Webster. That's not what it's for. The urban dictionary, to me, in my mind, said faggot. When you say fag, punk, sissy, all that, they're calling you basically like you like a bitch to them, like you ain't shit to them, like like they belittling you basically. You know what I'm saying? They're saying like, oh, you a bitch. What you gonna do? That's what that's to say. They saying calling you a fag and shit like that to provoke you because they think they can like in the hood way punk you. No, don't tolerate no disrespect.
What Merriam-Webster say?
I mean, I feel like it's some kind of pole that they use to beat something. I can't remember what they use it for, but it was a pole.
A pole.
Yes.
So
You calling me a pole?
It's like a faggot pole or something. I can't remember.
I mean,
what
but
it
if you think about it, the point I want to drive home is, number one, I hate when people use words that they don't know the origin to. It bothers me. And there's a lot of people, let's be honest, the church too. But it bothers me that we can use words, and sometimes some of our words of endearment can be derogatory words. I don't think that if you derogatory
What's the
term of endearment, a word like bae, lover, stuff like that, stuff that's supposed to make me feel like you want me.
Stuff like that. I'm like, all right.
But we do. So like you was mentioning prior to the break, when we come up to our friend like, bitch, why am I a four-legged dog? And I didn't do.
Yeah.
I got two legs. But I know that because you and I, friend, we talk to each other like that. But it makes me think,
Like, what's up,
why is that acceptable?
Right.
And why is that seen as, oh, it's just a regular salutation? Why is that comfortable?
Because I love you.
Yeah, I think.
That's how you think in your head. Like, they say I call you a bitch because I love you. Like, I don't mean nothing bad.
Yeah, I think that we just
What you do? You calling me a female dog?
we took once disrespectful words, and they can still be disrespectful.
Like the N word stuff.
We took words that were once disrespectful, and we laugh at them. We now laugh at them. Bitch, faggot, nigger. We laugh. I think for the most part, at least I do. I don't know.
But if you sit there and laugh at it, and then when someone with an opposing view uses that same word, where does the sense of humor go?
Well, for me, I still don't care.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's meant to de-sting or take the sting away from it, why, when it's said from someone else, why is that still offensive?
That goes along to say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If a guy on the street see you in the store, he calling you a fag. He's not saying it, or he calling you a bitch. He's not saying it to be like, oh, what's up, bitch? Like, how you doing today? He's saying like, oh, yeah, you a bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will beat your ass type of like bitch. That's what he's saying to you. So it's like, which not what you do, how you say it. He has a different meaning to the way he's saying that word to you than your friend has that word saying it to you. You ain't finna let no man come to you and say, what's up, bitch? Like, you gonna excuse me? Like, what? I don't even know you.
But here's the thing. I also wouldn't let a friend come up to me and be like, and we're not having a casual conversation, which I'm saying, I feel like us saying bitch is still wrong too. So next time I call you, let me know. But
Call me bitch last night.
I did several times. But again, I just don't see. It takes me back to my original question. The definition never changed. The only thing that changed was probably the venue and the context of the conversation. It still shouldn't be had. It's like the age-old conversation about the N-word.
See, I look at it just like when you're in a relationship, when you having a serious conversation with your boyfriend. Some things he might say some things to you when he's not mad that don't hurt your feelings, right? Or your mom or anybody like in your friendship period. But when they get mad and they say certain things to you, they say it in a different way. That's why I always say something. What you say is how you say it. So you can say it, then he might say something that's gonna hurt your feelings. And you know that hurt your feelings, right? But it didn't hurt your feelings when you were mad. So what changed your feelings at that time?
Well, you wouldn't be able to call, if you was my man, you wouldn't be calling me bitch or faggot.
I'm
my man would. That's not even the dirty talk, honey. Don't even do that.
I don't know.
I'm saying when he's saying certain things to you, period. Like he might tell you something about yourself that you don't want to hear, but you don't get offended when you're not mad. But when he said when you're upset, when y'all mad having an argument, he says it, you feel like he's disrespecting you.
We're gonna talk about that later because you kind of lost me halfway.
So
you ain't getting it. It's the same thing.
It ain't sinking, girl.
It's the same thing.
You was giving me a speech like them church people.
It's the same.
But I feel like the definition changes. I mean, yeah, it don't change, but we got our Urban Dictionary. And when you go look up bitch, they can mean, hey, girl, you know, or something like that. But I think the definition changes. But still, yeah, if you're a stranger and you barely know me, I don't understand why we even are offended by it. Why does that person hold so much weight in our lives when they really don't? Like, why do we give them that much power over us to speak and for us to become angry? It just.
But it's not the fact of you having power over me. It's just the fact of respect.
That's to me.
It's the, and I hear what you're saying, that it shouldn't affect us where it's mood altering. However, I agree I shouldn't, because you made a good point when you asked the question earlier, well, how do you respond to that? I agree. Sometimes how you respond to stuff kind of endorses how they already feel. But I feel like if you kind of respond differently in a certain type of way, they will like, they understand that it didn't affect you, or they'll kind of do what they got to do. But I still feel like respect is still respect. Rest in peace, Aretha Franklin. Rest in peace, Aretha Franklin. She taught us the best way. It's respect.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have any type of permission at any moment to have a conversation like, oh, what's up, faggot? Hey, punk. Hey, sissy. No. In any context. No, that's disrespectful. You won't have that ability to do that. Same way with the church. I am a church kid, born and raised, Holy Ghost, yay. However, you don't have the ability to call me faggot, sissy, punk. Anyone who knows me and goes to church with me, if that's said, honey, you can be a guest preacher. If I can't get to you, it's going to be a hot email sent real quick. Hey, I had an issue when you see it.
Dear
Because
preacher.
I
am an upset white
bigot
woman.
preacher. I'm confused. Because what about where in any 66 books did anyone use the term faggot, punk, sissy? I'm confused.
For me, I read a book. It wasn't in one of the 66. But I read one of the books. I read a book that one of the rules or agreements was never take anything personal. So whatever you say or do to try to hurt me, that's about you and what you're dealing with inside. So that doesn't project to me. I block it. You know, that means nothing to me. So I don't know. Once again, it goes back to.
That sounds like Gandhi.
No.
Yes, that's so sweet.
Sounds so Gandhi.
I wish I could be like
Yeah,
that, but no.
so don't
That's cute.
Don't
but
take
no.
it personal. Whatever that person say to try to hurt you.
And I continue to say I agree with you.
I agree, but then I disagree.
But then I have to disagree too.
Because where I came from, if you gonna
So
get
why
called
do I don't-
you gonna get called a fag, and you just be like, oh,
Okay,
just okay. You're gonna get your.
Glory
You're
to
gonna,
God.
But you
No.
understand
you're
it
gonna
now.
get
That
picked on. You're
shows
gonna get bullied every
that
day.
shows
like
that
it's a joke.
person that.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we got into an argument, an altercation, either physically or just verbally, but I did what I had to do to get him that angry. If that person says faggot to me and I just look at them and smile, how many other people you think they're going to call a faggot? Probably nobody, because the last person they said it to didn't affect them at all.
They're gonna say it again. They're gonna say it again.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
going
think
to
they
be
would.
used again.
Yeah, they're gonna say
It's
it
going,
again.
but see that's then stating that you have yours. Now you're saying that you then, I'm assuming, have power at that point. If they say something to you and you don't respond,
Yeah, I do have the power at that point. I
You
bet
do.
I bet they'll be so angry. I was about to say something else, but go ahead.
what was you gonna say?
Nothing.
Okay,
The moment has passed.
but I just still feel, and I think it's a muted point at this point, but I just really feel like there's still disrespect. You're not going
Disrespect, period.
to that you can't.
cannot
you're-
disrespect me
At
like
least
that.
a conversation. I may not need to cut you out, but there needs to be a
Yeah.
conversation
You're
had.
disrespectful.
I'm confused. Where did you feel like that's okay? But that's
And
just
what
me.
is that going to change?
Even with my arguing with my
conversation?
Even with my arguing with my cousin, I'm like, when she called me a fag, I'm like this. I'm like, so what made you feel like you could disrespect me like that? I'm like, I didn't call you a child. I didn't call you a bitch. I didn't call
And
you
I
a
guess
whore.
I guess
didn't
it
call you
goes to
anything.
what do we classify as disrespect? Disrespect to me is actions. So that ain't actions. to me.
Verbally is about
That's-
verbal abuse,
that's
because
verbal.
verbally is very disrespectful. You can verbally say some disrespectful
No,
shit.
disrespectful to me is my time. You say we're going to do something and you show up 30, 40 minutes late or something like that, that's disrespectful to me. But when it comes to the verbal things, I just don't consider it disrespect.
Oh, Jesus.
The next time you try to shave me on this show publicly, don't do it no more. All right.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Don't try to shave me no more on this show no more. But this has been a really, really cool conversation. Hopefully you all can go to church with me Sunday. Disrespectful. But listen, maybe you all in YouTube land can go to church with me on a Sunday. I promise you that there's still work to be done. It seems on both sides. And I think that the conversation that we had, though it kind of shifted from the church, it still remains the same. Our community needs to understand that respect is important on both sides of the spectrum. You have one side that says that, hey, take the nonviolent approach and just, hey, move on about your life. Some of us are still yet holding on and still trying to push on past that and try to reach that high goal. Hallelujah. So listen, stay tuned to see us next week for our episode, our 5th episode, which is going to be speaking about my gay is not your gay. And I'm coming for the Treys, the DLs, honey. I'm coming for the queens, all my queens and my sis, oh my God. See, I almost said it. You see what happened? You see what happened? The Satan that came inside of me, girl. But I'm coming for all of y'all, and we're going to help each other. And we're going to have a conversation open and candidly about how we are coming against each other. Stay tuned.
All right, thanks all our viewers for tuning in. Make sure you tune in for the next episode. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Tune in for the next episode. Promise you it's going to be lit. I'm going to get my ass up out of here. I got to go pee.